The rain hammered against my apartment window like bullets, each drop a reminder of how trapped I felt in this suffocating life. My mother's medical bills sat stacked on the kitchen table like a tower of impossible dreams, and my meager waitressing salary couldn't even dent the smallest one. I stared at the eviction notice that had arrived that morning, the bold red letters blurring through my exhausted tears. That's when he walked into the cafe where I worked, tall, commanding, with eyes like winter storms and a presence that made the entire room seem to hold its breath. His expensive suit whispered money, power, danger. He ordered black coffee and watched me with an intensity that made my skin prickle. "You look like someone who needs a way out," he said when I brought his cup, his voice smooth as silk and twice as dangerous. I nearly dropped the coffee. "Excuse me." "Marriage," he said simply, as if discussing the weather. "1 year, in exchange, your debts disappear. Your mother gets the best medical care money can buy, and you live comfortably." I laughed, a bitter sound that echoed off the cafe's cracked walls. "Right. And what's the catch? You need a kidney? A liver?" His lips curved into something that might have been a smile. "Just a wife. The arrangement would be professional. I don't even know your name." "Dante Moretti." The name rolled off his tongue like a promise and a threat. "And you're Isabella Cruz, 23 years old, works double shifts to pay for your mother's chemotherapy, 3 months behind on rent." My blood turned to ice. "How do you know that?" "I make it my business to know things." He reached into his jacket and placed a business card on the table. "Think about it. You have 24 hours. I wanted to tell him to go to hell, but the words stuck in my throat. Because as crazy as it sounded, as terrifying as this stranger was, he was offering me exactly what I needed. Freedom, hope, a way out of the crushing weight that threatened to bury me alive. "Why me?" I whispered. "You have something I need." His eyes never left mine. "Authenticity." I shook my head, backing away from the table. "I'm not for sale." "Everyone has a price, Isabella. The question is whether yours is high enough to save your mother's life." The words hit me like a physical blow. I turned and walked away, my hands shaking as I cleared the next table, but I could feel his gaze burning into my back like a brand. 20 minutes later, I stepped out into the alley behind the cafe to catch my breath, and a shadow detached itself from the brick wall. A man in a cheap suit and dead eyes stepped into my path. "Smart girls don't say no to Mr. Moretti," he said, his voice like gravel. "Not if they want to keep breathing." Fear shot through me like lightning. "Are you threatening me?" "Just giving friendly advice." He smiled, showing teeth like broken glass. "Sleep on it, sweetheart. But remember, some offers don't come." Twice. He melted back into the shadows, leaving me alone with my racing heart and the terrible certainty that my life had just taken a turn towards something I couldn't understand or control. Across the street, I caught a glimpse of Dante Moretti leaning against a black sedan, watching me with those storm-gray eyes. I was drowning, and he'd thrown me a rope. The only question was whether it would save me or drag me down into depths I'd never imagined. That night, I sat in my mother's hospital room, holding her frail hand while machines beeped their electronic lullabies. She looked so small in that bed, so fragile, like she might disappear if I blinked too hard. The experimental treatment the doctors had mentioned, the one that might actually save her, cost more than I'd make in 5 lifetimes. "Mija," she whispered, her voice barely audible above the machines. "You look worried." "Just tired, Mama." I forced a smile, but she knew me too well. "You're thinking too hard. I can see the wheels turning." She squeezed my hand with what little strength she had left. "Whatever it is, you don't have to carry the world on your shoulders." But I did. Because who else would? At 3 in the morning, I found myself staring at Dante Moretti's business card, the embossed letters catching the light from my phone screen. I'd looked him up online, found articles about Moretti Industries, legitimate businesses in construction, shipping, hospitality. On the surface, everything looked clean, successful, respectable. But there was something in those storm-gray eyes that whispered